Looks like Sara and Nick had absolutely nothing better to do with their time than to sit around and talk about SEO. So naturally, they thought, hey, why not drag everyone else into it too? And thus, this glorious creation was born, a podcast. Now, does it have a name? Of course not. You can call it the Sara and Nick podcast, or perhaps the No Name podcast. Either way, it's pure genius. Or pure chaos. Probably both. But don't be fooled. These two aren't just sitting around roasting title tags and drinking tea, or spilling it. They're actually very busy people who just happen to really, really love SEO. And since the SEO world is basically always on fire, right, they decided it's the perfect time to start talking about it. So, grab your popcorn and your keyword cannons, folks, because Sara and Nick's No Name podcast is about to begin.
And we're live! Hey everyone! Today we have Ismael and Tommy. I met them in Toronto IRL. They're a couple of very chill guys. I really like their vibes. I felt they were very knowledgeable, so I'm super happy to have them today. Hey guys!
Nice to meet you. Hello.
Nice to meet
nice
you.
to see you actually again. Hello, Nick.
Hello.
Would you like to tell the audience a bit about yourself, Delorme, and what you do and that sort of thing?
Super excited to be here today. So my name is Tommy Delorme. I've been in the SEO industry, SEO business for 10 years now. Started on the agency side for 4 years, jumped into in-house for a couple of months, almost a year, and then went full on in consulting for 2 years, almost 3 years now. And then on this journey, that is consulting and entrepreneurship, I had the chance to onboard, and because I've been knowing Ismael for quite some time, Ismael, which is now my full-time partner for a couple of months now. And we've just been building, consulting, and helping, and just racking these non-branding clicks and visually for our clients. So we're quite happy so far. Yeah.
And yes, Ismael, I actually have a different path. So I started in marketing as a copywriter. So I worked mainly with an insurance company, and I started digging into SEO in 2020 before all the crazy AI stuff that came up. So I dipped my toes in a bit of both. So. And after that, I joined Tommy. So yeah, I'm really excited. Started SEO, so 2020. It's been 5 years now. And yeah, recently joined Tommy so that we can explode together in this crazy world right now. So yeah, we're really excited to talk about our process and how we work.
Amazing to have you guys. That's a really interesting story. I just wanted to put one sentence together that usually means a lot for someone who is learning SEO. And Ismael, you said that you had copywriting experience, and recently I found that that each SEO should learn copywriting and web development before becoming very great SEO, because that's the core skills that we are doing. So it's amazing to hear your background, guys. So if I understood correctly, you are working as both of you are working in the form of agency or consulting. Can you just explain a little bit more how that goes? Because usually people when they say agency, thinking about 5, 10, 15, 50 employees at the end of the day. So can you just let us know more about your model and about clients that you serve, if you have specific niche, or if you're just offering SEO to everyone?
Yeah, so it all started as a consulting business, really, and it is still a consulting business. Although we do offer some sort of boutique agency vibe, no project management. It's Ismael and I, so we are direct contact with every clients we work with. We have a kind of a close list of potential clients we can onboard and work with, and we work with mostly service-based business, nationwide or worldwide, if I could say. and also some smaller businesses. But yeah, we love service-based business basically, and also some pretty cool e-commerce stores. And yeah, that's what we do. That's the kind of clients we work with, and that's the kind of vibe we want to have. Being able to kind of have a close connection with the clients, understanding their needs. Sometimes with clients, you may notice, but they want everything under one roof, which is could be convenient for in some cases. But when you need some very specific and I think unique vertical SEO experience or GO experience, if I could say, uh, sometimes clients like to work with different types of companies and partners, at least from our
That
experience.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Actually, I like the setup you have, and it makes you able to perform like a startup, right? Like you move fast, you respond fast, you make decisions fast. You're even changes in SEO or any new trend, you are able to make fast decisions and adopt it. If you're in bigger teams, it's always a challenge that you to socialize a new process and let people know, and everything has pros and cons, right? So how do you manage? And I think we had a brief discussion about this when we met. Like, how do you manage um, um, pricing? Like, do you go by the hour? Do you, like what are your thoughts on this? Because sometimes I feel like by the hour is just not good.
It's a good question. We've changed the way we bill and we work quite a lot at the very beginning. Now the way we work with our clients is we want to invest an amount of time every month on production. So it's pure deliverables. Each deliverable has value usually on these kind of returns and campaigns. So let's say I want to work on a brief. This brief will take myself or Ismael in our process X amount of time, let's say 2 hours or 1 hour and a half, for instance. So in the monthly times we allow to a project, let's say 25, 30 hours, we're just going to remove 1.5, 2 hours. And then we can, at the end of the month, provide lots of value from our from all of the different deliverables. Add to this consulting team, project management and reporting. We have at the end of the month tons of deliverables, lots of value, time to report and manage emails and clients, and usually 1, 2, or 3 meetings per month depending on the client needs. And that's so far it's been the best way to work. I've been in the agency where there's this traditional package. You pay a couple $1,000s per month. You have the same amount of backlinks. You get your guest posts, your articles, your content, and so on. I don't really appreciate this because I think sometimes you need to go custom. Like if the campaign is not the same if you're starting or you're working on a project where it's a brand new websites or a super huge websites with tons of broken stuff that you need to fix first. So you need to adapt and customize the campaign basically. And so that's how we are set up. I know, and we both know that it's not scalable where we can have 55 clients, that for sure. But we like the fact that we can really have higher retainer, but less relationship in clients.
So initially, yeah, I wanted to jump in because initially we started, we wanted to, our main vision was to how can we deliver customized, a customized approach, a one-on-one approach, like consultant, but also be able to productize our work, right? Let's say optimizing a web page, like this is a product, right? Writing new content for a new page, this is the product, right? So how can we productize, but while still keeping it really customized for the client? So when we started with a fixed price. But the problem with fixed pricing is that no website is the same. No collaboration with a client is the same, right? So if you say $125 per page, for example, it might take a value of 250 dollars for a different client, right? It can differ to like clients. So the problem with that is that you can sometimes lowball yourself a lot, and it's sometimes not. It sometimes does not work. Sometimes there's clients with not just the website but the organization aspect. You need to be a lot more hands-on with them. You need to train them. So everything that we experienced in like a lapse of like maybe 6 months, we started asking ourselves, oh, okay, we should not have a flat fee or like just a fixed price. We should charge by the hour. And we found out that for client work, it works a lot more like people really understand our base and our format, right? So right now, what we do is that we we don't talk about the work we're gonna do. We talk about the value we're gonna bring and how much that value is worth for a client, and we what we should charge. So we should charge 23 hours per month for a client. This will allow us to do enough work so that we can move things and that we can get results. And once you get that trust with the client, you can then within that 23 hours lay out what you want to do and what you need to do for each month. And we found that this is the most flexible thing we can do. And it's just, yeah, it's just a win-win for everyone.
Yeah, that's actually amazing, and thank you so much for sharing that. For me, like again, as an agency owner myself on this side, this like open some horizons there. But I just wanted to share my experience on that because like I also am very like strongly against the fixed retainers that are like basically non-personalized or non-customized, as you said, per specific client. So the whole point that I apply, like a long time ago as agency, is that we always like do, let's say, some sort of free audit or free scope of work before like we onboard the client. Basically, based on that, we have the priority stuff. And what we realized, like especially in the last year, because craziness is all over the place, we realized that we first and foremost never locked the clients in regarding like long-term retainers. Every client of ours can like with written notice like break the terms with us like 30 days like prior or whatever, so they feel like okay, we can like jump out if this is not working. But for me personally, what I started to offer like more and more, and it's working amazingly well, is 3 months engagement. So technically what we did, we like doing the 3 month sprint. Basically it's combining what you guys just explained. So we like start collaboration on 3 months, and for 3 months we customize the packages. So it's not customized by hours per the month, but by the 3 months, because usually in 3 months we can like do enough, and we can like provide enough value so the clients see okay, like we gave ourselves a lot of time. And I really think like I'm not like that man who gonna say like, hey, for us you need like 12 months. We are not those guys. Sorry, regarding like our side, like I just want to give clients results fast, and for me 3 months is perfect, time
Yeah.
frame. And based on that, I apply similar what you said. Like we put a custom proposal, custom points, because some clients need technical optimization first, or like they need to fix the website. They need like funnel built on the websites. After that, we can like start working on the content. Some clients need links. For some clients, we like, and that's like very interesting issue. We can like talk about that later. But we found some clients that, for example, you mentioned links. They don't need more links, but they need like some other things like fixed there. So it just depends like what you can do the best in that time frame to move the needle. And I really love what you guys doing. I worked and collaborated with a lot of agencies before, and it's very similar to development agencies, because like they are actually doing pretty similar what you are guys doing regarding the hours or like hour packages, which is like amazing for the clients. And I really think that like more agencies can like apply that system. It would be like better market at the end of the day. Um, Based on that, I just wanted to ask you regarding like all changes that happened this year. Especially I know how rough this year was for the agency founders and owners, and you guys are pretty new on the market, if I understood, in this collaboration. So what's your best way of the lead gen? How you're finding the clients? How are you choosing what is your ICP? And basically how you are, putting together offer. Clearly, Tom, you already mentioned geo, so I know that's the part of it. But I'm just interested how you decided who is your ICP and how you're approaching to clients to sell your service.
Very interesting question. First thing first, we don't need, and we're lucky, so touch on wood, as we say in French, to be out there to do some cringe post on LinkedIn or invest in ads, because it's all word of mouth for now, and we're really lucky to just referral from different clients so far, and it's been a couple of leads coming every month and almost every week. So far for clients acquisition, that's how it works. It's mostly just word of mouth, and we're super happy with that. In terms of ICP, though, very good questions. We're having a chance to work with different industries. We kind of, and Ismael has a background in insurance. He's in his previous life, so we kind of not own, but we are very good with this B2B segment where the average value of a client is super high. This industry, insurance, lawyers, accounting firms, all of these kinds of B2C business services, they're lucrative business for them. They know the value of a lead. They have good yearly budget usually, and they're not looking for a little $5 there and or looking at your shoulder and what's up. So we really enjoy working with these types of businesses. So 50 to 500 employees usually, a firm that is usually Quebec-wide, nationwide. So it really depends. And so far it's been very, very good. So it's almost like naturally we went into this kind of segment and had very, very great results.
I have just one small sub question there, because it's very interesting for the viewers to hear that. How you then kickstarted? It's amazing. You cover ICP, you cover currently, and that's amazing that you only on referrals, building. But how you kickstarted then with the first few clients? How you found the first few clients for the agency? Sorry, Ismael, for cutting you off there. Please, continue after Tommy answered on this question.
So when I left the in-house world, one of the reasons was I was getting lots of requests for consulting, and one of the main one where I worked for 2 years, where I consulted for 2 years, is Cirque du Soleil, based in Montreal. So this was a big and main clients, and from there it was honestly, Nick, just organically LinkedIn, people looking for some consultant, either seeing my name while doing some research or really word of mouth, and brick by brick working in different industries. Oh, I'm working with Tommy for our insurance company or whatever. Email him, and then it clicks, and then we keep building on top, and it's really organic growth, if I could say.
Nice. I want to chime in about something you brought up. I am okay with cringe LinkedIn posts.
I know, it's fine.
Marketing is cringe sometimes. I mean, it is the way it is, right? Like you're trying to sell, right? There's no other way.
Cringe works.
Right? You're trying to, obviously, you're just trying not to trick people. You're just trying to be transparent and everything. But at the end of the day, yes, you're trying to sell, right? Yeah. So yeah, and then I also want to say something about the pricing part, because I did not chime in, as I have nothing to say really. I am really bad at pricing, and I should have said that at the beginning. And I you may have seen me write about this on LinkedIn. I partnered with Nick. We're working together on clients, and a lot of the reasons, like there are two reasons for this. First of all, sometimes as you said, clients want something I'm not offering. Content writing or link building, like I work more on the strategy level, so Nick obviously can cover that, and he does a great job there. And then the second thing, I really suck at pricing. Like it's like I don't know, I'll give you the whole thing for free. You just talk to me a bit about it. So I'm not. Yeah, but I don't know. It's not. I tried to learn sales. But to talk to people about pricing and negotiate pricing and that sort of thing, I don't know. It's just Nick does that way better. So yeah, we complement each other in that way. And I really I feel like the way you work, guys, is may be a bit similar to me and Nick, because we're also like Nick has his own agency, obviously, but I'm just me, and when we meet clients, it's just us, right?
Yeah. 4 years ago, Steve Todd has made I think it was a Facebook status or LinkedIn status about a book that really not changed my life, but had an impact on the way I see sales. to your point, Sarah. And the book is The Go Giver, and the principle is fairly simple, where you just give value first. I mean, with the SEO notebook and the AI notebook, Steve gives value first, and then when it comes the time to really receive, you just gratefully receive this lead, this mandate, this project. And at some point, the more you give and you plant some seeds throughout the year, the months, you're gonna get the call back at some point. And that's what I've been doing for the past 5, 6, 7 years. And that's, I think, one of the reasons why there's so many organic leads coming in.
It's so different. It depends on so many things. So first of all, like what I wanted to mention is that why the reason why yeah, of course I have background in insurance and mainly our clients in insurance industry, but our niche is really B2C services. So everything like white collar you could think of, or businesses that genuinely have there actually value in SEO. So we can talk about AI, the fact that there's less and less clicks, and you really need to focus on the value of those clicks and the quality of those clicks. So in terms of this niche, right? Like for example, insurance client, how many clicks you think they need on their product page to make the investment worth in SEO, right? Probably a lot less than a coffee shop, right? So that's the thing. The pricing thing is it will depend on who you're talking to, right? If you're talking to an e-commerce, when the margins are poor, it's gonna be really, the first 3 months are really gonna be really important for you to give ROI, give that value to the client. I mean, even more than any types of niche, because they really need to get a return on that investment. So it's all about confidence and also who you're talking to, right? Because it can feel weird to be hey, my campaign is going to cost this month $5,000, and you're talking to a local coffee shop in New York, right? It's hard to justify this, and maybe like you're kind of not too confident to offer this. But if you're talking about a big insurance firm, right? I mean, that's $5,000. How many leads is that worth it? Like probably not a lot. So that's the main difference, I feel like, and also confidence, to your point, Sarah.
Absolutely, I can agree with that. Also, I think like you mentioned, it's very important, like with whom it's very important how you approach to the client, and also it's very important. I feel like that sometimes clients from some niches are like more understandable or like search knowledgeable about SEO or the service, and that also like gives down the sales, down the process. Because if you're like talking about SEO and trying to pitch SEO to someone who is fairly new, or maybe they don't know about SEO that much, or like trying to manage the way to understand or get to the point, I really think that education, and maybe even right now what we're doing with this podcast, is super important, because like people, as you said, like from specific niches are maybe like more knowledgeable. And I think also B2B companies that are like having those budgets for marketing, they already know, they have decision makers that are already familiar with services that we try to sell. And then at the end of the day, you mentioned like local coffee shop that like probably owner never heard for SEO, so that's also the point that can like be justified with their willingness to pay X amount of money. Also, I really wanted to jump, to the process of you two guys like running the agency. I know that like we have AI all over the place. I know that a lot of people talking about automation. Also, I think you are like perfect combination, because again, you're covering, as I understand, like whole SEO part, especially like with your experience with content and strategy part. So my point is to ask you guys if you're willing to share your process of handling all of those clients by only you two in the team, and also if you have any automation tools that you are using, so that we can like dig more, regarding those things.
How to be efficient, how to be fast, when you are only 2.5, and giving as much value as possible with what we have. So we do use automation tool N8N, and we use Moonlit platform as kind of like Make. We also use Make, and we have multiple flows all in Notion. We also move 2 or 3 times from platform. So yes, we do use all of these kind of automation tools. I think that AI, if I'm not sure, I'm not even sure about your take, Nick or Ursa, but you cannot replace what's in there, obviously, but you can deliver potentially just more or more polished outputs and give more value in the same amount of time. So that's the way we see it. And where we use AI automation is keyword research at the very beginning, using data for SEO APIs from multiple seed keywords. Everything's connected with multiple endpoints from data for SEO, gathering this, using back then Mihir, who's from Toronto, Mihir script for SERP-based clustering all automatically, and then pulling this to a sheet. And then some organizations, again, with AI, and then the human brain jump in, and where we can potentially just sort the data and organize and build the whole strategy and audit the market and or the website. Content briefs, obviously, SERP scraping, QA, everything that is kind of repetitive, obviously, is fairly well organized and smooth in our process. So we save a lot of time. Honestly, we have spent so much time building these flows, and now we're so happy. We're still building, and that's the thing we enjoy doing. Also, at the end of the week, the month, having the time to build these process, make sure it's super smooth, building some custom tools. The day where I think personally we use tools like Phrase, Neuron Writer, I think it's fine, but I think it's just not enough. At some point, if you want to really be efficient, nothing really stopping us from building our own version of these very famous tools like a Surfer or Phrase or
Yeah.
Neuron Writer.
And
yeah, that's where we I
to,
think
to, to,
enjoy building.
to jump of what Tommy said, I mean, we're using AI for a bunch of different stuff, and I feel like AI is really a double-edged sword, and you really need to. It's you need to understand what are the drawbacks. I mean, it's been what, like 3 years since ChatGPT came out. So the mainstream AI, we've been using it for the last 3 years. So we started to understand like what's good and what's not that good. Because at the beginning, like everyone's excited. Oh, damn! Find me creative angles for a new LinkedIn post, and then it's been 3 years, and the same 20 posts or ideas are coming back and coming back. So yeah, of course. But I think that the main thing is your standards as a consultant slash agency. Because of course you can save time and be a lot more like you can be a lot more fast, and I'm sorry, so this is our French. I'm having a hard time finding the right word for this. But like our ROI can be a lot better if you're using AI everything, right? But will the quality be there still, right? That's the other question. So it depends, right? Because in our approach, our main vision is we never want to sacrifice quality for speed. Never. Because we're working on client's website, and this really matters for us. So, but that's for us, right? Some other people can be like, hey, I don't really give a damn. I just want to make money, and that's fine. But for us, we really want to make sure that quality is not sacrificed. So what we do is we always ask ourselves a question. Okay, so we do XYZ for this client. How far can we push automations and AI without sacrificing the quality of a manual output? And then we test, and then we find that ceiling, and we're comfortable with that ceiling, and then will leave it that way. And maybe something that like takes us like 10 hours, maybe will take us 6 hours, and that's our ceiling. We're not gonna go like further down because that will sacrifice quality, and that's not what we want, right?
Nice. I have so much to say. I sort of written a few things. First of all, you mentioned Mihir. You say Mihir. You're in Quebec, right? French, right?
Yeah,
You
exactly.
said business is ketchup. Like I learned this recently. It means it's good to go, Nick. Like they said business is ketchup, right? You say that in Quebec in French.
Yeah.
that's why I
Right.
ketchup. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they said that. I just learned that recently. Great. Anyways, okay, so how do like I just want to zoom in a bit on the process you shared about the keyword research. If that's okay with you, like can we just like go through it a bit slower and a bit deeper for the audience to learn more about it? If that's
absolutely.
yeah.
So
okay. Yeah, go ahead. You go ahead. Yep.
So one of the approach we do to build, let's say, content plan or just understand a market, first, just good client interview, understanding their pain points, their needs. If obviously they have some personas to share with us, and from there we should have a good understanding, high level of their persona. Then we do a psychographic research, so understanding the user in a much deeper way. And feel free to use a simple prompt on ChatGPT or Gemini and just ask, please do a psychographic research for X customer or X query. You'll find some amazing output. And from there, we identify pain points, organize all of these pain points, turn these pain points and topics into seed terms, seed keywords. Let's say 30 to 60, 70, maybe 100 seed terms that we then send to keyword research tool. The classic way of doing this back then was keyword magic tool. People also ask.com is a great tool where you can find questions. There's tons of individual tools. Lowfruits.io, not too bad. You have the related searches, you have the people also ask, you have the autocomplete. All of these endpoints and source of data are great. And data for SEO, I think, is amazing because they allow you to connect to all of these endpoints easily, and then you can make a call. So with this keyword, what is SEO, or just SEO at large? Look for, people also ask, look for related terms, questions, keyword ideas, and then you build your keyword universe, big list of keywords. Then you cluster, SERP-based clustering, and then we can jump to the debate of SERP-based clustering versus semantic clustering. For me, it's a nonsense. SERP-based clustering should be the only way to clusters, and then you can reclusters on a quarterly basis or bi-yearly for sure. Why would I cluster what is SEO versus SEO consultant together? Yes, SEO is in both words, both keywords, but the meaning is absolutely the opposite. One is really top funnel, one is very low funnel. So once you've SERP-based clusters, and again, you can use Mihir script, you can use Keyword Insights, you can use your own script, and then you can work with the data and play with it. And that's where usually the brand comes in. And and then you can also look at the SERP, obviously. So who's ranking, what type of pages are ranking, what's the intent, what are the topics, and then you can move from there and jump to the next phase. Could be SERP analyzing, looking at the quantities they rank for, they have topics coverage, FAQs, and then we can move a bit deeper also. But yeah, overall, I think people should not fear using APIs. And this will save costs, because SEMrush has been bought by Adobe. The prices of these tools are crazy high. The value is still there, I think, but it is very expensive at some point. And I feel like sometimes I wonder why do I pay $2,000-$3,000 for SEMrush on a yearly basis, or potentially I can just use a basic front end that I can vibe code with Claude with data for SEO and have all the data that I need. One amazing tool for the audience, I'm not sure who's the exact target audience, is SEO Utils, desktop-based tool by Phuc Lee. It's all bring your own key. So that the concept is very simple. Same features as SEMrush, but it's bring your own key. Key meaning data for SEO source or other sources that are super cheap. And you only pay for what you use. And you have the same kind of output as a tool like Ahrefs or SEMrush.
I think the main thing to get from that is seems like everyone's looking for the best way to do, for example, like this, for this keyword research. They're like, oh, should I use SEMrush or should I use Lofus? Should I use autocomplete? Should I use like the thing is they're all good, they're just all different. So if they're all different, you need to connect them together. And it feels like a lot of people got lazy and we're just finding the one size fit all. We're lazy too, but we know that they're all good. So instead, we decided to, in a one press of a button, take all of our seed keywords and make sure that it connects to all the endpoints, so we get all that data. So, for example, we take 100 keywords, we get 1,000, we get 10,000 to then cluster, right? So that's how we do, and the reason why we do the psychographic research is that basically the first ever thing we'll do for a client is the keyword research, but we call it like market research because it's actual your market research. You learn to understand the audience. You're looking at all the keywords that someone from that audience would be searching and related to the product slash service. But you also look at the competitors, what they do right, what they do wrong. Look at the backlinks profile. You look at everything. So you and then you can throw a content audit, so you can look at every single page of their website and understand them, to understand how it's been built, because that's really important, right? Like, you cannot just do, hey, here's how your competitors are like ranking, here's what your audience is searching for, and then be confident to say, here's what you need to do, because you really need to understand like what was the intent behind how the website was built. So yeah, doing that, we now understand literally like probably the website better even than our client.
That's amazing. I just need to jump in here. Like I was enjoying in this part because like again, I can like probably relate with a lot of those things. Like for me personally, how we like apply some automation, it was like exactly what Tommy said. Basically, if we can like replace some repetitive tasks that like will take us like a lot of hours, we're gonna like clearly use AI as automation. But also I then like need to come back what Ismael said regarding like sacrificing the quality. For me, like from the first moment, that was like a big no. So at the end of the day, I really think that like as you guys mentioned that like and I recently just posted that on LinkedIn. You cannot like replace human brain. You cannot replace like our conclusion. You cannot replace like at the end of the day, everything that we can like put together in one, uh, let's say strategy, or like one way that we want to execute things. And I would never advise still AI or slash LLMs, like to be real, how we should proper call all of those tools, to actually do all the work for you, because like again, output at the end of the day will be very similar. So I'm completely like agreeing with you that output shouldn't be replaced with AI fully. AI should be utilized to speed the process up for us to be more efficient at the end of the day. And I really love something that I was like, thinking that I'm doing like as one of the rare experts, but I'm super glad that I found that approach to like as a part of the process of your approach to the work, and that's psychology. For me, like marketing is very very much based on psychology, and I really think like every time we always doing that, like we always like call that like differently. So we call that like demographic research, but basically it is like the part that we want to dig in the user journey part. My agency always doing and building user funnels. So technically like funnels is that like are different, like but my point is like if we like get you the traction and traffic, you will not get anything from it if you don't have proper funnels. Based on that funnels, we are building like proper user journeys, like how the user flow should flow. If we want to focus on specific blogs, should those blogs like lead to newsletter funnel? Should those blogs lead down the funnel to middle of the funnel topics, or potentially to the endpoint as conversion? We found out, by the way, that blogs still working amazingly well, even if that discovery phase and stuff like that. So my whole point is that like psychology is super important. I really love how you presented that in the forms that you're like connecting endpoints of those tools to find the keywords, and based on those keywords to do the clustering, and based on that to fill all of that data and like pull the conclusions regarding intent and stuff like that. So I'm really amazed, and I'm really happy that you guys share that with us. Also, I will need here to pass the mic to the Sara, because I know she hyped me up about some tool that you are using internally, that you are building there. So I wanted to let Sara ask you about that tool, and you guys to present that, as I think it's very important to showcase what you're working on.
Yeah, want to share your screen, Tommy? Walk us
Absolutely.
through it. Yeah.
So maybe just some more context. When it comes to optimizing content, everyone knows machines are dumb and cheap, which means they don't want to spend a dime to understand your content. They want to spend the least energy, and they have various systems to understand your content. One of these systems is called natural language processing. And Google happens to have an API, the natural language API, that you can connect and see how and which entities and terms, salient terms, is being recognized. So what we did is we built and we kind of wrapped it up and do some changes. Started with Google Colab, Sara, and Python to identify the most salient entities from any given text and really see in a clear-ish visual way, I think, how does Google understands the content or the passage or the paragraphs. And so the way you write and simply changing words could have a big effect on the way the content is being understood and then rank, basically. So I'll just share some quick example. 2 sentence that means the same thing but are pretty much very different and differently understood by Google.
Yeah, let us know when you share your screen, because
Yeah.
right now it's just us.
You should.
Okay, I think I need to change this layout. Okay, yes.
Okay, so sentence 1, sentence 2. This platform helps small nonprofits schedule team meetings, or we offer scalable communication solutions to enhance collaboration. It seems very simple. It is simple, but just for the sake of this demo, basically this one here, Google, the most salient terms connected to the API are first platform, nonprofit, and team meetings. Because it's, again, straight to the point. Platforms, connected, nonprofits, and then team meetings. If we go and use the other version, which again is pretty much the same thing, just said differently, communication solutions, collaboration. It's up there in the cloud. It's super unclear. And so when you look at sections, paragraph, or even whole pages, I'd be glad to look at one of your website pages or clients segment. You can really understand and see. Let's do Sara SEO. Can we find your website and see quickly? And then
That's nice. I'm super excited. I'm sorry.
Right now, that's not too bad. The way it will understand your bio, Sara, brands, speaker, industry. That's the top 4 salient terms.
I love this. Super cool. Yeah. Can you click on any of the blogs? I want to see what if we go deeper, like Ontario organization. Nice. This is
which
super
one?
nice.
Which
Anyone, one? Any of them.
Python for SEO. So we can look at the whole page.
Okay.
Or just segment. So let's look at this page as a whole.
Nice. Oh, wow.
Python mindset shift course, SEO course. And then we can see the entity that is being linked to Wikipedia because SEO, search engine optimization, is understood.
Just so that the audience understands,
cool.
Just so the audience understands a little bit better, because it's really unconventional how like NLP works versus how most SEOs are used to using optimization tool. You look at Surfer, you look at Phrase, you look at all these optimization tool that it's just a matter of occurrence, right? How many times this keyword appears in your text. The thing with salience and then with NLP, how it analyzes it, because we call it salience analyzer, or can't call it anything you want, honestly, but the way it works is not about occurrence, but more about placement. So of course, by adding your keyword 10 times, it might be a lot more like salient than like another entity, right? But the thing is, if you start playing with the wording of a sentence, so for example, Sara, right, within your sentence, you can position Sara like further in the sentence or at the beginning, or it depends of which word you put first. One thing we see a lot working with brands is that within a paragraph, the brand name, the position of the brand name will highly affect this salient the salient score. So for example, let's say Fujifilm, okay, because I'm looking at my camera right here. If we say at Fujifilm, we make cameras and camera lenses, Fujifilm would probably be the most salient entities, which is what you want if you're building, for example, an about page. But you can say you can say Fujifilm cameras are built for user-friendly experience. Then Fujifilm might not be the most salient entity because it's just not gonna understand that, putting the at Fujifilm, putting the at Fujifilm just makes it a lot stronger within a sentence. So that's the most interesting part, in my opinion, of sounds. That's what drives me not crazy. It drives me, like it fuels me, I feel like, because it just makes sense, right? It doesn't make sense that adding a keyword 5 times within a text randomly will improve your SEO. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, tell me it makes sense, I'll wait. Like, it doesn't. So when you look at this, you get clarity, like you get confidence, right? Like, you put your content, let's say your keyword is SEO consultant New York, and your first 3 most salient entities are SEO consultant New York, like, that page is ready to go, it's ready to rank. And so for us, it just makes total sense once you get like that step of optimization. Like, just this is the final stamp you can put on an article or on a web page to say, hey, this is going to be understood fast, like Tommy mentioned, because if you have 500 pages, like, Google wants fast scroll. So this is really going to help.
This is super cool. And I did see the previous analysis that was comparing my page to another page. Yeah, that one. I
Ahrefs,
do,
yeah.
I do need to up my game. So, okay. Okay, but that's really, I like how, you see what's prioritized in this current content, and then it gives me ideas of what I need to put more emphasis on, right? Really
Yes.
nice. Great work, guys. This is awesome.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing this. Also, I want to ask that, like, famously known question, like, is this like publicly available? Do you plan to push this live? Or this is only for in-house needs for now?
A very interesting question. So I did a conference last week for Elevate early startups, basically, and they asked me the same questions. So initially, no, it was only for internal use, and maybe we will consider releasing this to the public and just making this available for anyone to use, because it's, I think, very useful. At least for us, it's very, very useful. We see amazing results. Honestly, just making sure your content is aligned. But that's only step 1. And if I could just briefly share what I mean by step 1, this is good because you connect with Google and you see, are you aligned or not aligned, basically, and what's being understood on your content. But then if you align a target query or set of queries, and you embed this set of queries using, let's say, Gemini embeddings model with your content, and then you can use cosine similarity and see how aligned is the content versus either a target query, or how aligned the content versus the heading. And it may sound confusing at first, but using embeddings, I think, is a great way to optimize chunk passages, because that's how LLMs are working. Basically, they're not evaluating a whole page, it's chunk by chunk. And if each chunk is well connected between the headings, the body, and the topic, basically, which is the target query plus fan out queries, it's absolutely game changing. And so we use both approach, making sure our content is well understood by Google and also aligned with the embeddings, with the fan out queries and the target queries.
Amazing. Like also, I wanted just to say two things. First one, we get like a lot of offers to be test users, so you can count this in if you ever like plan to this to to push for public
Great
use. Like
pleasure.
we're gonna be there first in a row. Second one, you told me actually like hit the nail there, because I just wanted to ask you. That was like my follow up question, because like we are closely coming to the end of this phenomenal conversation, and that's like regarding geo and regarding like changes that's happening, and then you just like explained everything there, but to maybe dig a little bit more deep regarding that, can you just like let us know your guys like your opinions regarding like geo, regarding LLMs, regarding like marketing, what's happening especially with SEO for 2026? What are your predictions? Also, I'm big data guy, so everything that you explained today is like actually amazing to me, and I melody for my ears, at the end of the day. But I'm still struggling to get conclusion based on data regarding LLMs. We still know it's like fraction of the traffic. We still know that business is going crazy about it, but they don't understand the point why they should be present on LLM, because like at the end of the day, 90+% of traffic is still on Google. So I just want to ask you guys, what's your opinion on everything that's happening, and how to explain to the clients, hey, your focus still shouldn't be on LLM if you're like neglecting the visibility on other channels where your ICP maybe is present.
Ismael, you want to start, and I'll complete.
Yeah. So that's a really nice question, and I feel like there's a really big division, right? Like the it's divided, right? You see SEO's dad post, like link like impression farming post on social media. For us, AI has been a blessing because I mean, what sells more than fear? Nothing. Like clients are literally scared because the AI LLMs, like especially ChatGPT, like they're so good at marketing, and then other marketers in the SEO landscape are so good at marketing that these CEOs of those big companies are starting to see those impression farming posts and are starting to get scared because they want their presence to be in LLMs. And for SEOs today, if they wanna, like, because you said like it's hard to survive in like this world right now because there's AI and all that stuff. You really need to start, if you haven't started yet, to start getting knowledge in AI and how LLMs work. Not because to know how to rank, but to know how to explain, right? Because like you said, there's no data yet. How can you sit there and say I can make you rank on ChatGPT? Well, like we don't even know how, because like there's no data, there's no search console for LLMs. You can enter prompts and profound PKIs and all these tools, but you cannot know for sure the presence and put like your finger on it. So you really need to be able to be transparent and know what's happening in this landscape, to explain to the client, here's what we're going to do, because we every single of our clients asked us, we want a geo plan for 2026. They all asked, they all want that, right? Like how can you deliver a geo plan today? It's by being transparent. It's by saying, here's what we know so far, here's how we should prepare for this. But the thing is, there's a really big correlation between ranking with with NLP tools, like the stallions check, the embeddings, the like optimizing for semantic chunks, right? So every passages are they can be highlighted. There's a really big correlation with SEO and GEO. It's really not that far apart, if it is even apart. So that's one thing. And yeah, if I did not answer your question like fully, I'm not sure because I kind of derail a little bit, but yeah, Tommy can jump into.
Um, Tell me, what is the difference between geo and SEO? Is it the same thing? Is it very different? For me, it's geo means semantic SEO, basically. So how can we associate your brand name with entities? How can we make it super easy for LMs to understand what you have to say, basically? And yes, there are some differences for sure in tactics, but as a whole, if your brand is well known and easy to associate with your target entities, you're going to be fine. You're going to be absolutely fine. Although tactics, let's talk tactics when it comes to geo that we've tested times and times again. Forums, best. Ferry from the UK has said, let's do a test. Let's post 10 guest posts. All of these guest posts should have best SEO consultant in Toronto. And let's rank Sara number one for all these 10 guest posts. Let's wait
I'm
two
okay with
months
that.
and let's wait 2 months and let's see what's going on, what's gonna happen. I did the test and it works. You can actually like influence LLMs using these tactics. Obviously, you need good links, and then we can jump into the common crawl conversation and being able to having pages that cites you in the proper way in the common crawl. And common crawl, for the ones are not aware of this, is like a huge database of information that is being used for LM training. And so you want your brand name within these documents and in your own websites. And so the way you source websites for backlinks also is important, obviously. But 85% remains the same. If you were doing bad SEO before, you're going to be amazed and you're going to be like, oh, it's a whole new world. And if you've been heavily involved in semantic SEO, you're going to be like, okay, it's pretty much the same thing. But there are some things that, at least in my opinion, are a bit different, and tactics that works for now that may not be working in a couple of weeks, years, or even months. And so you need to adjust, obviously. But yeah, it's fairly similar.
Nice. Guys, the conversation with you has like I took a lot of notes, and for example, you mentioned Moonlit, and I like that you brought this up. It's not something, or not that, like, it's a very good tool, but not a lot of people are making the best use of it. You also mentioned SERP based versus semantic clustering, which can actually be a discussion for an entire podcast. And I think I'm gonna write about this in my newsletter, and I'm gonna coach it. Don't worry. But it's I like that you brought to our attention this conversation, right? And then I also appreciate bringing up the unethical side of marketing, like fear as a strategy, right? Like fear mongering around SEOs dying and all those random posts that are causing clients and stakeholders to panic, right? We have a lot as SEOs to tackle, and generally speaking, this discussion has been like super, super cool. I just have, Nick, do you have anything else before I jump into our last section of the conversation?
No, absolutely no. I really think that we covered every aspect of any hot topic currently, and it was like really pleasure. As I said, like it's melody to my ears to hear from you guys that you're applying some systems that I'm very very aligned with. As I really think that we as industry should be more oriented towards those principles than to share fake news on LinkedIn, impression farming, and stuff like that. Because at the end of the day, my only question for all of the clients uh, is do you really know what you're gonna get from all of those requests that you're wanting to do and putting in front of us? Like, if you know that, if you can justify that, go with it. But overall, guys, thank you once again for being our guest. It was like amazing episode. And Query, I will let Sara to end with our favorite part.
I mean, it's the holiday season, and we just like to casually end up the episode by sharing what everyone is working on. It can be something personal, something SEO-y. Like, it's up to you guys. Who wants to go first?
Maybe you can start talking about what we plan to do for holidays if we have time, because we think sometimes we have more than 24 hours in a day because we're delusional. But yeah. you can talk about what we want to work on during
We
holidays.
are, as we speak, we're working on what we've been, what we call internally Delorme OS, which is our everything under one big roof, one SaaS. So all our process, clients' information, organized, everything smoothly, so that we can even move faster, build in a more solid way, no clunkiness at all. So that's one project, centralizing and making all of our process even better. That's for business operations. Building some semantic optimizations and alignment tool, as I just shared. The Chrome extension is a V1. We have so many ideas and plans to make it even better, so we can have greater results and move even faster. So yeah, that's for the business side. And on the other side, we're gonna do the Christmas party next week. So next Thursday we have our Christmas party. It's still a surprise for
Just
Ismael. Has no idea where we're going or what we're doing. But I asked him and his girlfriend to lock 2 days. So nothing has to be planned for end of Thursday and the whole Friday. So that's what's up for us, at least for
And
holiday.
we just another thing I want to say. You see how Nick, the first thing Nick asked you once you showed him the tool, the first thing he was like, "Is this gonna be public?" I did the same
Yeah.
thing in IRL, if you remember. I was
Yeah.
like, "This is super cool," and that's why I was like, "I hope they show it here." And I'm sure whatever you're working on, that's gonna be great. Please share it with us definitely afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll do for
Uh,
sure.
That's our goal. That's our goal. Our goal is to create like all these tools that are, because we use them internally. So to use them internally, we don't need a lot in terms of coding and the front and the back end. Like it's just us, so we can manage to go around it. To make it public, we need to maybe make them a little bit more robust so they can be used, like a login and how the pricing model would look like. But yeah, like productizing some parts of our workflow to be available public, that's one of the main, I guess, vision for 2026. So yes, the tool that we showed will soon, not soon, sorry, someday be available. That's for sure. Sorry for the clickbait. Sorry for the soon. I didn't want to say soon.
Just to be I was talking to Nick and I was like, I don't remember the details of the tool. I just remember the feeling I got. It was awesome. And it was about content. And I wanted, so yeah, thank you so much for sharing this with us. Okay, I can go next if
Yes,
that's
please,
fine.
share.
okay, so on personal level, I'm working on my coaster collection. So I made this.
Amazing.
And then I have this cat. Of course,
Yeah,
Nice.
that's a good one. Yeah.
yeah, right. I'm like doing a lot of decoration, I did this like here around my pen, like I'm doing random stuff. Anyways, so that's what I'm doing right now outside of work. On work, I'm trying to go back to the mood of working on my SEO strategy course, which is so late. But just to be transparent, I feel very like it's the end of the year, and you feel I'm just waiting for a break. Like I literally need time off, so it's just hard to push. Like it's always the last bit of something that's harder. So
Yeah.
I want to finish as much as I can, or all the SEO strategy course. That's my main focus right now. Yeah.
Nice.
And yeah, at the end, like let's like I need to close this down. So professionally, I'm kind of in the way like working on my operation side of the business and the agency. So I'm looking more forward to the appliance of everything we talked today, and to be more efficient at the end of the day. I really think that's like the main point for me, that I'm working on and looking forward to 2026. And personally, yeah, like as Sara said, like this is gonna be like I'm not working on anything specific, but looking forward to go like on a little bit of a holiday with my son and my wife. So that's gonna be like my ideal holiday season for this year. And I wish you all like happy holidays and happy New Year, guys. And once again, it was like pleasure to be your host today. So thank you.
It
It was
great.
amazing. It was amazing. We really liked the. I mean, I really like my experience. I'm pretty sure Tommy
Yeah.
too. But yeah, it was really fun and refreshing to talk about SEO
Yeah.
to other people. because we're always in Tommy and I on our bubble, delusional bubble, calling every day on WhatsApp and Slack. So it's cool to talk about SEO too.
Nice having you here as well. Like I genuinely enjoy those podcast episodes because we get to meet a lot of people as well, and exchange experiences. Even I know the audience would be listening and learning things, but even for myself as well.
Absolutely. Sara, you can stop recording then.
Yeah.
Guys,
Thank you so much.